Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen from Dignity Health Yavapai Regional Medical Center.
Welcome to Dignity Health YRMC's Your Healthy Kitchen. I'm your host, Rita Carey Rubin. Now, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, chronic pain is one of the most common reasons why adults seek medical care. And statistics estimate that around 20% of Americans suffer from chronic pain, and another 8% have pain that significantly limits their lives. So if you suffer from chronic pain, you're certainly not alone. And one of the underlying contributing factors to chronic pain can be inflammation. And under healthy conditions, your immune system kicks up inflammation to protect you from injury and disease. However, if for some reason the immune system can't turn off the inflammatory response, chronic inflammation and pain happen. So we'll be talking about the foods and lifestyle habits that can reduce inflammation in the body and, as a result, possibly reduce that chronic pain. But first, let's get cooking. I've got a delicious winter salad or hearty green salad to share with you today that's filled with anti-inflammatory ingredients, including dark leafy greens, fresh herbs, and warm spices. So this is one of my favorite salads to make. It's really a hearty whole meal salad. And we'll start with some jicama. And this is a wonderful winter vegetable. It's in season now, and it's a root, and it looks like a potato. And you'll find it in the market. Sometimes it has a wax covering that actually helps to keep the moisture in the jicama. Sometimes it doesn't. And so no worries about the wax coating, because we're going to cut the skin off. So to use the jicama, you definitely have to cut the skin off. And I just cut it into chunks, and then make those chunks as small as I need to. And then just use my knife to cut the skin off, just like that. So one really good tip is if you've got a large vegetable like that, just cut it into smaller pieces if you have to peel it or chop it, and make it more manageable and a little bit less daunting. So I'll throw this away and just cut this into bite-sized pieces. So jicama is really high in vitamin C. It has a wonderful crunchy texture. It's really juicy, a little bit sweet. It's also got some great fiber in it, all of which are really good for fighting off inflammation. And what I'll do with this is we're going to marinate it for a little bit, because it is very mild tasting, and sort of boost and brighten the flavor. I'm just going to marinate it in some orange juice. This is a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of white wine vinegar, and some chipotle pepper, chipotle chili. You can also throw in some cayenne. And if you don't like the spice, you can leave it out, because the flavors of the juices and things will come through anyway. And also there's just a pinch of salt in here as well, truly just a pinch. So you can marinate it 5-10 minutes or so, and that'll just pick up the flavor. Makes it really, really bright in the salad. So one of the things that can reduce inflammation is eating more vegetables. And because we know that vegetables contain a lot of phytochemicals, which are the chemicals that plants produce to protect themselves from disease. But those chemicals help to protect us as well. And a lot of those phytochemicals are anti-inflammatory. Also, if we eat more vegetables, we have more fiber in our diet. And when we have a lot of fiber, that helps to keep our gut healthy and keep a good, healthy balance of microbiome, the bacteria that live in our digestive system. And we know when we have a healthy microbiome, that cuts back on inflammation in the body as well. Eating more vegetables also helps us to eat fewer calories, and sometimes just a little bit of weight loss can reduce inflammation significantly in your body. And greens, or leafy vegetables, are some of the best vegetables for fighting inflammation. The darker the color, the better. And I've got a whole variety of leafies that here today to that could go into this salad. So this is just some romaine lettuce, and you'll see I have this stored in plastic bags. So a great way to buy greens is to buy them the whole head of greens, and then either break up the leaves, or you can even wash parts of the heads of greens together, and then spin them dry. I love my salad spinner. It's one of the best tools in my kitchen. Spin them dry until they're pretty dry, and then wrap them in a paper towel and put them in a plastic bag in the refrigerator. And they'll stay for a good solid week, or even more if you buy your vegetables, your greens at the Prescott Farmers Market, because they're fresher when you buy them. They can last a couple weeks in your fridge this way, and they won't go bad on you. So let's, so in this salad, I think I'm going to use the romaine lettuce, and I'm just going to chop it into bite-sized pieces. The lighter and the darker greens. For this salad, if you do about 2 cups of greens per person, that's how you can portion it out, is because it's going to be a big salad, big main dish salad for everybody. So about 2 cups per person is a good way to estimate how many greens to use. And the darker the greens, the better, because we know with plant foods, the more colorful they are, the more phytochemicals are in those foods. So you get more medicine, more anti-inflammatory medicine with the darker colors. So that's the romaine. And then this is a little bit of escarole. Escarole is one of my favorite cold or cool weather greens. It's got a little bit of a bitter taste to it, whereas I like to say it's got a little more strongly flavored than some of the other greens. And so use it, if you're not used to that flavor, use it sparingly. So you could throw just a little bit of escarole, and even be aware of how big of a chunk of escarole you're putting in the salad. So cut the leaves a little bit more finely. And always pair, if bitter greens are something you're trying to eat more of, pair them with something sweet. So like in this salad, we have the sweet jicama is one of the things that will help to balance the little bit of a bitter flavor in the escarole. So gradually adding a little bit of bitter greens really helps fight inflammation. That bitter flavor, the phytochemical, is very, very powerful for fighting inflammation in the body. Another favorite leafy green that I love is radicchio, and it's not a green, it's a leafy vegetable, but that purple color. Purple, red, blues in the plant world have very, very strong antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. So even throwing a little bit of that color into your meals can really help. And radicchio has a little bit of that bitter edge as well. So again, if it's something new, don't pile it into your salad. Try to balance it out with some more mild tasting greens, like something like spinach. That's another great green that can go in this salad, goes really well. So I've got spinach here. This is from the Prescott Farmers Market. Nice and fresh and organically grown, already washed for you as well. So really nice, great green. And then also another green that would go in here is arugula. So this also is from the Prescott Farmers Market. These are from the folks at Whipstone Farm. And arugula is super nutritious. It's got a little bit of a bite to it and a little spiciness. And that flavor also indicates that it's got a lot of those helpful phytochemicals in them as well. So you could throw spinach in there, arugula, or even a milder lettuce if you prefer, just to help you get more vegetables, get more greens in your diet. So next thing that goes in that salad is some cilantro. So also with herbs, that's another great way to store your herbs, is to buy the bunches of herbs and rinse them off, wash them really well, spin them dry in your salad spinner, and then wrap them in that paper towel in a plastic bag, and they'll last for a really long time. I don't know if you probably have the experience like I have had where you buy a nice bunch of fresh herbs and you intend to use it all up right away, but it winds up being a science experiment in the bottom of your crisper. So this is a great way to keep them around for a longer period of time. And cilantro, I like to use the leaves, and I also like to use the stems. The stems are really flavorful, and they often just get thrown away. So I just chop the stems, like for a salad, I'm just chopping them into finer pieces, because nobody wants to get a hold of a big old stem in their salad. That's not very fun. But if you chop them into smaller pieces, it blends in really, really nicely, and it gives even more of that nice cilantro flavor. And so herbs and spices, that's another thing we know can help to reduce inflammation because of the phytochemical content. Things that have all that flavor are actually really nutritious and healthy for you. So there's some cilantro, and I'm going to put in some peas. So frozen peas are always in my freezer. I love having them around. They're super easy to add to meals, and I just defrost them. I put them in a pan of simmering water and just cook them until they're not frozen anymore, and then rinse them off with cold water to stop the cooking. And they can go in salads and soups, and can mix it up with roasted vegetables. All sorts of ways to use peas, even just eating peas by themselves. It's a very healthy starchy food because it's got that wonderful green color, which we know is a very beneficial phytochemical. And peas also have a ton of fiber. There's 9 grams of fiber in a cup of peas. So that fiber is really, really beneficial to feeding that microbiome. The healthier the bacteria is that lives in our gut, the better off we are. And those bacteria eat plant fibers. That's the main source of food for them, for the beneficial ones. So another addition is some oranges. So this is just a navel orange that I peeled and just cut into slices. And I'm just going to section each of those slices. And sometimes you'll see recipes where they actually remove the membrane, the skin that separates the slices. You don't have to do that. It really doesn't affect the dish very much at all. And you actually lose some important nutrients when you remove that skin. So it's really easier to do it this way too. So I've just sliced the orange and then section it. I'll put that in the bowl. Oranges, great source of vitamin C, which is an anti-inflammatory nutrient. Also, very good source of fiber, and it adds that really nice brightness to your meal. Lastly, we're going to slice up an avocado. We're going to add that last after I throw in this jicama. And then we'll add the dressing as well. So the dressing is orange juice and olive oil, a little bit of cumin, a little white wine vinegar, salt and pepper. And so the cumin is beneficial, powerful anti-inflammatory spice. And the olive oil. So one of the things to look at with foods is to try to choose oils that are either anti-inflammatory or at least not pro-inflammatory. The fats in our diet can trigger a whole lot of inflammation. So the fats that I like to cook with, and the fats and oils, is olive oil. And I look for extra virgin olive oil that's been cold pressed. So that means that the olive oil hasn't been damaged by adding a lot of heat. So look for cold pressed oils. I just threw in a couple pinches of cumin into my dressing. I'm going to throw in a couple pinches of black pepper and a couple pinches of salt. So cold pressed olive oil, extra virgin. Extra virgin has more phytochemicals in it. That means it has more anti-inflammatory action. And also I like avocado oil. as well. Again, cold pressed is what you want to look for. I like coconut oil as well. All of those have, again, if not anti-inflammatory action, they're just not pro-inflammatory. So olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil are all really good choices for cooking. The avocado oil can take heat a little bit better than the olive oil, so it's good for a nice saute. So there's olive oil, orange juice, cumin, white wine vinegar, salt, and pepper in here. That's it. That's it. You can also zest the skin of your orange, especially if you have an organic orange. Just can put a little bit of orange zest in here for some added flavor. And that's all there is to it. That's our salad. So super delicious, packed with fiber and beneficial phytochemicals that will fight inflammation like crazy. Just add your avocado right before you serve it because it does tend to turn brown. And avocado is also a great source of fiber and phytochemicals, so it's very healthy food. So in addition to filling your meals with, like we said, lots of fiber, low-carb vegetables, healthy fats, and is nutrient-packed, nutrient-dense foods, the following habits also help to reduce chronic inflammation. So reduce the added sugars in your diet. We know that sugar, added sugar, not natural sugar in foods, but added sugar is very pro-inflammatory. Also eat more plant-forward meals and less red meat. So if we eat excessive red meat, this definitely can trigger that inflammatory response. Another trick is to experiment with cutting out some groups of foods, like dairy or grains. Sometimes those foods for certain people really trigger inflammation. So just cut dairy products out for a couple weeks and see how you feel, or any kind of grain, especially grains that contain gluten, and see how you feel. Another thing to cut out is, a good idea is artificial sweeteners. Those can also be connected with increased inflammation in the body. Try to eat in a relaxed state and enjoy your meals. So this is really important because when we're relaxed, we're not pumping out stress hormones. We know when we're stressed, those stress hormones actually cause inflammation. We also know if you relax when you eat, you actually digest your food better, so you get more nutrients out of your meals when you eat when you're relaxed and not distracted. Also get regular movement. Regular physical activity or exercise does reduce inflammation in the body. Don't smoke. And if you drink alcohol, just drink in moderation. Too much alcohol can trigger that inflammatory response as well. So managing and treating chronic pain, it really often requires a multifaceted approach. And that's why Dignity Health offers an excellent holistic chronic pain self-care program through the physical therapy department. And physical therapist Cheryl Vandemark created this program, and it's wonderful. She teaches really valuable skills and strategies to help individuals with chronic pain to live and feel better. You'll need a referral from your healthcare provider to the physical therapy department to join the program. And you can also learn more by calling Cheryl directly at 928-771-4747. Please give that program a try. It's worth every minute that you spend there. You really learn some really valuable tools. And remember, check out all of our healthy anti-inflammatory recipes and the videos that accompany them at yrmchealthconnect.org. And you can also follow me on Facebook. That's where I post photos and videos and the meals I make in my own kitchen, plus links to my favorite food and gardening destinations on the web. So until next time, eat well and be well.